That's crazy.
Yeah.
So the gram, how many posts did you use? Too many fucking hashtags.
I think it was all of them, dude. Back when I had so I did a deep clean of my old shit and kept it to visuals and beats before it was guitar covers and piano covers. So I'd archived all that shit, but I had 70, 65 posts with all just hitting hashtag keywords.
And I looked at
exactly.
I thought that's what you're supposed to fucking do.
And then
I don't think they say anything about it.
I started losing mad followers. I would post something and lose 20 followers. And so I looked it up. I'm posting because they were still getting likes, you know?
Yeah.
So it was kind of hitting, but the followers were gone. So I looked it up, and they're if you use too many hashtags that aren't targeted, specifically targeted, beats making, producing,
so your profile, they're saying that your profile has to be a certain thing, and that you can't deviate from that.
That's what
everybody has to be in their own little fucking little niche bullshit.
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
And then I was working with this other kid who does rapping. He tries to make beats and stuff like that over in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I look him up on my personal account. I could find him. I look him up on my music account. Account doesn't exist. So I text him. I'm like, bro, is this your active page? He's like, yeah, but Instagram's been dicking me. You look at his post, 30 hashtags, all non-targeted. It didn't even allow me to, and I sent it to myself from my personal to my music account. Said account not active or account not found or something like that.
Fuck
Crazy.
that.
Yeah.
What is that? You can't expand your markets. I think they're trying to limit marketing on some. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
On some. Okay. So LinkedIn does it. Also management. They don't LinkedIn doesn't allow management. You can't be signed in on two separate places at one time.
Okay.
I did management for one of my professors, and just his LinkedIn, and I had to make sure he wasn't signed in at his house. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it would kick you off for 2 hours.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they're trying to limit. I mean, it's their platform, whatever the fuck. It's just getting crazy with AI. I was on this podcast yesterday. It's called "You Don't Need a CMO." It's this podcast. This one guy, Chris, he founded the company, and so we're doing this podcast, and they're talking about machine learning and AI and what the Facebook algorithms do, and I'm that's fucked.
It's freaky shit.
That's a little weird. These things are gonna create. So then you're gonna be able to target to you. They're gonna be able to target to your exact profile because they're gonna get down with that data.
Yeah, you saw those Google or Facebook robots who developed their own language. They just shut the program down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fucking wild.
Who knows now? I mean, they're not. So we're not gonna be. It's gonna be so long until actual actual replication of human parts. You know, we don't even know certain parts of the cell. We know them, but we don't know how they work. So we haven't even replicated a cell. So we're not even close to replicating a brain.
Of a human. Yeah.
Exactly.
Didn't we do? We did Dolly or some shit, right?
Yeah, we did
sheep.
did the sheep.
Yeah.
But yeah, which
crazy.
is crazy in its own right. But it's basically I guess a duplicated sheep. But I think it had some problems.
It did, and it was and it still came out as a baby. You know, they couldn't speed the age process. So it wasn't an exact clone.
No.
You have to give it time.
It was just the same DNA.
Yeah, same time to.
But it's literally not the exact same skin and the exact same. So it's really different. It's gonna have different experiences, just on
nurture versus nature.
That too, because it's half and half. Really,
exactly.
You know, is the reality behind it. But that's an argument. There's some weird arguments going on where I'm science got that.
Yeah.
Science straight up already did that.
Dude.
But that's fine. I get it, you know?
That black hole picture. You remember that when
the actual picture of the black hole, right?
Exactly. That essentially proved the theory of gravity, and just before that, gravity was just a theory.
Well, we just don't know what it is the problem. We don't know how it works.
But I think what I read somewhere, I forget where, was that picture proved that the event horizon and all this stuff.
That they said happened.
That's how exactly. That's how Einstein predicted it would happen, and then this came out, and that essentially proved his work. which is crazy.
That's wild. How does he
know that shit?
Yeah, I mean, he surmised after just probably hours and hours of, my bad, probably months and years and decades of just nonstop. Imagine nonstop. Yeah, just like as respect to him, like straight up. Oh, man. Whose autobiography did I read? I think, was it Ben Franklin? I think it might have been Ben
Franklin.
No. Man,
Thomas Edison?
It might have been Thomas Edison. I don't know. I have
the light bulb guy
at school. Yeah, big time. I think it was him.
Yeah.
Like a year or two ago. But I was like, this is great. Like he had in the book, he had his notes or they had his notes, or actually no, he wrote it. So he had his own notes though, and it was like hour by hour shit, like we do today in a calendar. Like he had that in his notebook. And all these different things planned out in grids, like how he could do them and time intervals and like So like if he wanted to do one or not do one, then he could just like draw a line or something. It was crazy, bro.
Completely meticulous schedule.
It was just messed up. Like it messed up for the time period. That is so messed up. Why the fuck is that even?
Right.
We're out here we're gonna press some buttons, make some sounds on the computer, and then that's about it.
Gridding schedules. Yeah.
And just just coming up with just the craziest ideas, and also being into hella books. Reading so many books. Yeah, that's something too. There's some people that
read a whole lot.
I read like
online, but
got you.
I can't tell you.
I try to do a little bit of both. I don't read online that much, but yeah, I usually have a book I'm reading, like one book, most of the time. Yeah. Because I just feel like even if I don't get everything in it, at least I'm like kind of doing it.
Right.
Yeah, read a couple chapters and I'm like, all right, I'm kind of tapped, but still, at least.
What are you on right now?
I'm on Marcus Aurelius Meditations right now. Yeah, so that is like
prolific.
Yeah, he was like a Roman emperor or something. Dude, yeah, that's because every 5 sentences I understand like 2 of them, and then sometimes you'll have 3 sentences in a row.
Gotta reread them.
That you get, and you're just like, oh yeah, oh man, like that's like I can't believe it.
That's great.
Yeah, basically. So and then I don't know. There's probably some kind of there's like a difficulty. Because what they did was, what one article did was they took all the privacy policies of these companies that we just blindly agree to, and then they put it up against like Shakespeare and like in one of the graphs. They did an entire study on it, but in one of the graphs they put it up against like Shakespeare and like all these different writings. Right. So there's a scale of difficulty, and it was like above college level for like some of them, like Facebook's, I think.
Wow.
Maybe I could be wrong, but there were some that were just so. They were so. You have to be so intellectually, intelligent to understand the shit. Yeah.
That's wild. I never looked at books like that. Like, there's levels. I mean, I know there's hard books and easy books, but.
Yeah, but that just goes deeper.
Yeah.
Books go deeper.
Because you could read something and not understand what it's saying.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and the words are clearly.
And not just vocabulary-wise, but meaning-wise.
I don't think our culture supports it anyway. Our culture doesn't support reading books, regular books. It supports reading, just going like that, like for the people
scrolling
listening.
Through,
I'm just like moving my finger.
Yeah.
But, shit, bro. The attention spans are just they're down.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, 8 hours a day on a phone probably.
Yeah.
But you look at younger generations. I got some friends with little brothers, little sisters, and they just have a hard time communicating, and I just attribute it to this.
Yeah. Also, it's their age.
Yeah.
As well. A lot of people as they grow up they kind of bloom a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's that. I definitely understand that though. My sister is just graduated high school, and she is completely like she kills it in life, like props to her. But so it hasn't really affected her, and she's on there. But I don't think she's on there as much as like some other people are really on there.
Yeah.
So it's just one perspective, but
true.
They are spending I think the average kid in school spends 6 or 7 hours a day on the phone. So almost the whole amount of time that they're in school, they're on their phone.
That's wild.
Yeah, but it makes fucking perfect sense, because why wouldn't you be? Like, you're just, like, it's everything's there, on there, or everything's out there in the hallway. Like, that's it. And when you're in class, like, if you can, but I've had those college classes where
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm on it
Where
as
they're
much as
just
the next
fucking-
guy.
Yeah, I tried to slim it down, but there is things I do on there that I have to do on
Right,
there.
it's important. It's important to have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a good marketing tool. That's for shit
100%.
sure.
The marketing tool.
Mm-hmm. So,
It's a
in a
fact.
way, I mean, obviously, it's necessary at this point in
Yeah.
our lives.
You have
but-
to. You basically have no choice.
Yep.
But yeah, it works. I make clips off it for the podcast. I go on the YouTube video and I record my screen, throw it in an editing app. I can put a
Cut
title
the
on it.
beginning off.
Yeah, bang, 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 render it out.
Exactly.
It literally takes like 10, 15 minutes to get one real nice, but I don't have to do anything with it. It's done. This thing is it's $1,000.
I film all my videos with this.
Mm-hmm.
Every single video.
It's $1,000 though.
Yep.
Like it's a computer. It's this thing.
Handheld.
It's this, but in that. Like we
Yeah.
don't realize. I had my friend Beej Links on the podcast. He's actually a producer too. I don't know if you know who Ground Up is.
I've heard the name
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, they were from PA, and they did songs with like Asher Roth and like G-Eazy,
Okay,
Action
yeah.
Bronson.
Yeah, I probably know them then.
Yeah, they're probably from like a few years ago. And so my friend Beej Links, he was the producer, and for him, and he makes an entire series. It's basically a TV series in small clips put on Instagram. It's dope.
It's genius.
And he makes things talk on just from using an app.
Yeah,
It's wild.
that's crazy.
Wow.
It's
The things you can do.
right. I mean,
Gary Vee shit.
yeah, all these people who just literally walk around and 1 minute videos
Yeah.
of them talking about something
There you
and
go.
hit millions.
See, I opt for the hour or two, but that's just me. You know, I mean, I've done the short ones. I used to do a thing called Monday Thoughts, and it was just a minute video every Monday. But I don't know, I just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah,
I like the long form.
I like the long form too because you get to see stuff develop, and you get to carry out a thought.
Truth.
I also that's the one thing I kind of dislike about Instagram is how it limits, especially for music, because it's so hard to jam pack so much.
And you can't
into
put
one,
a song in there.
You can't
either.
put a song, and then
I
you
mean,
have to
IGTV.
Instagram
Sure,
TV it.
who's using that bullshit?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
A quarter of the people, maybe not
Uh-huh.
even. Yeah. The story is the place to go, and then you got to string all these stories together. People look automatically at the top, and then they go, "Oh, he's got fucking 34,000 stories." Just goes to the next,
Right.
Because they can automatically judge it.
Right. It's
Like, what?
Yeah, I've been pretty inactive on Instagram though. I just don't know what platform to go to next. You know, I mean, SoundCloud, YouTube. I've like tutorial videos of like
Yeah.
you know how to play like Mac Miller stuff on piano or something like that.
That's dope, though. I saw some of them. I know.
Did
I know
you?
how you do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I like how you do that. My bad.
Yeah. But it is a good it's just cool because you know you put out something decent and people actually you get more real feedback.
Exactly.
Instagram's a lot of bots, a lot of people in it for themselves, just saying you know nice beat and
Yeah.
you know putting
It's
fire
on
next
all,
to it.
Yeah. Whenever
Yeah.
I throw 20 hashtags on the shit, it's literally
Yeah.
just.
And I mean it's alright because
Yeah.
I do that too. I throw out the nice beat
Yeah.
you know fire.
You know what I used to do is straight Gary Vee shit to an extent. I would just go on and critique him. Everyone. I'd be like, vocals are decent. I don't know about the 808. I don't know about the beat, whatever.
Wow.
Out of those people, you get the people that are like, oh shit. The people have like just a little less followers than you, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh shit, okay. Like, how
guy's
do I
what's
do
up.
that? They'll DM me and be like,
Yeah.
all right, what do you mean? You know? Then I get a follower. You
That's
know?
smart.
And it works. So if you want to do it for music, you have to do that. See, like the problem is, I don't want to be on there spending the time, but it will work. It will work.
But in a way, you're burning a bridge to make a bridge.
Exactly. I mean, you're not even like burning the first bridge. You're just sitting there on the outside judging it. You know,
That's
looking
true.
at it.
That's
You
true.
didn't even cross the
You're
shit
just
yet.
looking
You're
at the bridge.
You're like, all right, I'm checking. What's up? Okay,
Yeah.
I see it. Like,
That's
it's not bad. I don't know about
That's
over
true.
there though. So, but that's at least that was like a year or two ago. So climate might be a little different, but it might still work. But it's honesty. It's honesty. If you give people honesty on Instagram, they usually think you're bullshit. You know?
It's true. Yeah.
Or you
Yo-
basically go like, yo, I don't know, like trying to I don't know, just give them something like an ad, yo, fucking this high, or obviously compliment, but you have to be so like wildly different. That's the problem I think with compliments.
You have to be, you know,
or having a bunch of followers.
Punny, you know, you have to be something.
Would you pay for marketing?
Depends. I mean, just on Instagram or like a marketing agenda.
Either way.
I'd probably pay for like marketing agenda, like a
management thing. Yeah, got you. Yeah, I mean I think it's mandatory if you could justify it.
Right.
Like if you have the money and you want more money, like, and you want to start building for the money a little bit, like not for the money, but just for the reach, and then like that end goal of like I could just like make this a business somehow,
right,
and still be honest and still be really good and make good content. Yeah, so I don't know though.
What about you?
I mean, I've done it myself, and when you do it yourself, you just like you get 20 or 10,000 views, 5,000 or whatever, but nothing happens.
Right.
And then you're like, damn, that's crazy.
They
just walked past it and they didn't even look, you know?
I know, dude. I put out, you know, 2 projects that get like probably under 100 hits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I put like, I don't know, month, 3, you know, 4 weeks of work into
on the
it.
grind.
Yeah, just for 4 songs, 5 songs.
Yeah.
And, you know, I make them because I like making them.
Me too.
Yeah. And I'm glad they get what they get.
Yeah, but at the same time,
sometimes I want, and my shit's different. I'm like more of a curator. I like to call myself.
Feel
you know what I mean?
We got that style going on.
So like I like throwing little like vintage, you know, vocal movie bits and little quotes in there and stuff that I like to tell a story. So I get why it doesn't hit because it's not listening for everyone. And so sometimes I wonder if I just made like, you know, just the formula.
Yeah.
You know, a simple something.
I know. I think about
that would just
shit
sell
all the time.
Would I even be able to sell that?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, definitely. If it sounds good. Like, I know that I like the music you make. I'm just saying, like, sonically, if it sounds good. Like, if it's mixed and mastered, like, and all that shit. Like, I mean, you don't even have to because that's not even your job. Like, that's not even our job as producers. But if you want to be... Because somebody's going to take the beat, bring it to somebody to record.
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
So if you could, I think the process should rather be in the actual like making just the beat sound good at the end. I think the whole beat itself, you could kind of do whatever. Because people who will need it, I guess will need it for their certain, you know, type of song or experience. Yeah. Right. So the thing is just probably, I guess, variety. I don't know. I've always struggled with that too. Is like to try to figure it out. Like, what's the best course of action, and then also just to make good music at the same time.
Right.
That's like the number one.
Most difficult balance.
Yeah,
you know, because
crazy though, honestly.
You can make a trap beat that's like fire and unique, or you can make one that's corny and played out 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But I'd even say, in today's day and age, you get a decent rapper to go over some corny trap beat, people would love it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's hysterical.
It is, but it's crazy to find those. It's just hard to find the ones that are really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, I think. Because there's also many that sound good at it. And just because they are, they're just spitting the same shit. And that's fine.
New ones every day, too.
Yeah.
Every day someone new pops out on Instagram.
And like, who are these fucking people, man? Fuck that shit, dude. That's crazy. I mean, that's the climate, though. I mean, you gotta be, I guess. I mean, it just depends. Are you in it for the short or the long? If you're in it for the long, then everything fades into something else.
Yeah. If
you're in it for the long, then I don't think. But you want, like, I always want to get shit in the short. That's why I had to do other things, because I was like, I can't just do this shit all the time. I was like, this shit, I've been doing this shit. I might have to put 7 more years in before, like, something really... I'm like, shit, I gotta just do some shit on the side. Like, you probably do shit on this, like, other shit, right?
You gotta stay busy.
Yeah, you gotta stay busy, yeah.
That's the truth right there. Yeah. You know, until you hit it, it's like it's a struggling musician's life. It is. You know? Yeah. That's
why it's good to, like, have some other shit. Yeah, like, if you're thinking about... Imagine, like, somebody thinking about just starting to play music, like, out of nowhere.
Do it.
Just do it. Yeah, but, like,
do it.
The thing is, like, thinking about it. Like, just don't think about it is the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start overthinking about it. It's like, yeah, but also career moves though. At the same time, you have to not think about it, but also be realistic and self-aware about what's happening.
Exactly.
Or the likelihood, but your likelihood might not be what's actually in reality.
Yeah, I've always wondered like music school worth it.
Art
you
school.
know? Art, yeah.
Does that really? Can you teach somebody to make, the best? You can teach them how to paint.
Yeah.
How
to shadow
how somebody
paint.
teaches them how to paint.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I started playing piano when I was like 6 years old, and then like drums, probably 14, guitar at like 10 or something like that. But I started piano real young, and just played classical music, all classical
That's dope,
music.
though. That's a great foundation, I feel like.
It definitely taught me a great bass. But then I just lost interest in the type of music. I was playing it just so long.
It evolves, right?
Exactly. And I was getting tired of all that classical stuff, and I just quit. And honestly, I wish I never did. Cause
say the same shit, bro.
Dude. I don't know. Yeah, it is.
But you still always kind of have it, though.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike.
Exactly. If I see a drum set, like my drum set's a piece of shit, I'll still some days just put it together and rip it. But if I'm like at somebody's house and they have a drum set, I can at least kind of
keep a beat.
Play it, keep a beat, yeah, like a little bit.
That's all you need.
That's why I got back into guitar too. Like, what do you play like often? Like, what do you play? On a daily or weekly?
I probably play drums every day.
Cool.
Probably
That's awesome.
Guitar. I'll pick up like when I'm recording a song, or even noodling around and like looping something.
Yeah, just messing around.
I'll play guitar like 3-4 times a week. Piano, I'm pretty much all day because I'm making beats on it. Other than that,
did you play a piano the longest out of all of them?
Yes.
Or like longest seriously?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I took I really got into guitar in high school. So that picked up a lot. So that like I took more seriously then, and I took like a break from piano for like 4 years.
Shit.
Yeah.
So,
and then,
but guitar is so good. That's why.
It is.
It's just so good.
Yeah. I started like Dave Matthews and all that rhythm guitar with the stretched out fingers and stuff like that. Yeah. And because I was getting tired of playing cowboy chords, C, G, D,
big time.
Just the 4 chord songs.
That's it.
So
Stevie Ray and all that, yeah.
Rips. That's the Riviera Paradise, probably
big time.
Top 5 for me.
Life by the Drop.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's crazy. Yeah, but I don't know, I like drums because in a way you can't be wrong. You know what I mean?
And you can't you replicate that, like it's a full body thing.
Yep.
Not saying that guitar isn't, like if you're standing, like it's definitely a full body thing, but not like you're using force, but also not even like people think it's like blind force, like it's not even close to that. It's literally the exact opposite of that. It's like complete control.
It is. Yeah. It's timing and nuance.
I did it from 5th grade to like basically all middle school. I played like percussion and then jazz band. So like that, even that little, but in high school I just played guitar on my own. But yeah, that was, but yeah, same thing though. I didn't do like, it was just orchestral music.
Yeah.
But the start OG, but then you hate it. Yeah, but you don't realize.
Because it teaches you that especially teaches you like the rudiments and the actual time signatures and stuff like that. I feel I never did it, but
yeah,
that's what I feel like
it does. And I learned music, and I knew how to read music, and now I can read guitar tabs, and that's it. Like I could find the chords and shit, but
yeah,
other than going by ear, I don't have a lot.
That's me on guitar too. I'd pull up a tab. I mean, I could find a chord pretty quick, but I still tabs easy. So
big
easy.
time.
Yeah.
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 It really is. Yeah, I think. I don't know, man. I think it's good. I never realized it was so good to know the different, when you're making beats, to know the different instruments. Because you can just get stuck on piano with that little keyboard, like down there, the little,
the MIDI,
the little MIDI, and like you could just get stuck on there and not realize what music really is. Like you can not realize that like guitar is so fucking hard to learn and play and like get really good at,
and it just sounds so natural compared to strings just being plucked on a
because we don't have little guitars that are that are just like half of the fret, a quarter of the fretboard. We don't have those.
No,
it's because piano is the one.
Yeah.
But then piano is so wildly crazy once you probably once you're like really good at it, I assume, but that's so crazy that piano is the only one, except like little drum pads, but they're not really that popular. I like them. I used to play them, like electric drum pads and shit.
Oh yeah.
And like also electric kits.
I got an electric. I got the TD30 or whatever it is. Thing's sick. Like 200 sounds on it. You get lost in that thing.
Yeah. I would just play for way too long, man.
Yeah,
forever.
It's crazy.
I had them in band class in middle school actually, and we won a rock band competition to use it for the whole year.
Really?
And it was dope. And yeah, so we used it was like it was something like it was the nicest one they had.
Yeah.
And my friend, like, he was so nice at drums. My friend Riley, shout out Riley. And he was drums, and we had our own little band. It was dope. But even that, too, like, then you learn the band.
Yeah.
Almost. All right, school music, there's some shit that needs to be changed, but at the same time, it's not bad. It's probably the best learning experience in school.
Definitely.
If you do it, because
if you don't count recess.
That's basically it. Yeah, because the music teachers are at least like, most of the time they're weird as fuck, but at least they know their shit,
Yeah.
And they're very passionate about it,
Yeah, that's very
because
true.
they don't have to teach dumb shit. They have to just dumb down the cool shit.
Dumb down the cool
But teachers have to take the dumb shit and dumb that down. So you got to double dumb shit dumb down. And so that's a bitch,
A lot of dumbing down.
Yeah, a lot of
dumbing down.
Right. Fucking A, bro. Facts. There's a lot of dumbing down. Yeah.
So you were mentioning
It's funny, actually.
live looping and recording.
Yeah, big time.
You want to get into that?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, have to.
I found this guy, Mark Rebier. I told you about him.
Yep.
He just look him up because he'll blow your mind later on, and
Gotcha.
he'll just make beats
check it
right
out.
on the spot.
Fuck, man.
And
Yeah.
if you want to get into that,
I'm like, I do a baby version of it with Logic.
that's how I started pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm trying to. So what do you need? A pedal or?
Yeah, you could get a loop pedal. Even you could run it right through Logic. You could loop it, run it through an audio track, direct in, and block off 4 bars or whatever you need. Put the loop on it, and it'll stop recording.
There you go. Interface, plug a guitar in.
Direct in, and then just open up an audio track.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with that. That'd be dope.
I don't even think you need anything extra.
Yeah.
To buy anything.
Yeah, I think I'll be all right. Yo, and then I'll have a fucking mic with the vocals.
Exactly.
There you go. There's some raps.
You could even do some
some taps,
percussion and stuff into it. Yeah.
I mean, I'll use the kit and I'll get some rim shots and shit.
Perfect.
Damn. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's the motivation right there.
Setup.
All right. Yep. That's next. There's some DJ shit I gotta buy though, and I'm like, okay. I'm like weighing my shit out right now. I'm like, where am I at? Yeah, I'm definitely I'm on track. We're getting there. I already have like the guitar riffs ready. Like I've just been practicing that. I'll make the beat here, let the drums play there, and just rip the guitar. And then at school, I have a keyboard, just a MIDI keyboard.
Yes.
That's like shit. Like it was like $50 one, but it works.
Yeah.
That's it. Keys are kind of annoying, but
mine are getting sticky too.
yeah, that's
the worst.
age, I guess, right? Or
I guess. I mean,
heat, cooling. I don't know.
I tried teaching a couple of my buddies piano up at school.
Yeah.
So I would put sticky notes on some of the keys.
Oh, I did.
Like
I did that to mine too.
The thin ones, and I think they actually fell through the slits. Like
Shit! So we lost them down there. So then they got stuck.
I think. But
nah, it's just a little more challenging. Now when you go to another piano, it just be like milk, man. It'd be butter.
Butter.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's it.
That is true.
So you just let people know like what. So what do you do like music wise? What's your thing?
Yeah. As of recently, I just been making beats. But I kind of started.
I know you went through a little bit of it too. So.
Yeah. I kind of started putting loops together and kind of just curating stories, and I like to just kind of tell stuff through my music.
In like a tape form.
Exactly.
Format.
Yeah, and like a I keep it short, 4 or 5 songs a thing. Cool. I actually only have 2 of them out. I got a whole lot in the works. But I want to get some lyrics over them and send them out to some people before I call them finished pieces.
So what would you say your Like, what's your orientation? What's your style? Like, what do you go for?
I'd go
what do
like
you recognize yourself as?
chill hop, man.
Chill hop.
Chill
Hell
hop,
yeah.
like lo-fi.
Facts, though. That's what it is.
And just kind of indie in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
indie hop.
Indie hop.
I guess
Yeah.
we'll call it indie hop.
Yeah, indie hop. I think that's definitely accurate because I've listened to your other beats too, and the one you sent me, and I'm like, this is it. This is perfect new sound with remnants of the old school in it, but it's not. It doesn't take it over, and it like completely.
Right. I think that one I sent you, it kind of had like that.
Steel drums.
Yeah, it was like
flute,
Dr.
I guess it was. Yeah.
Was it like a Dr. Dre like?
Yeah, a
key,
little
like,
bit.
Right. Kind of like
yeah,
that.
it almost had. It had a little rock to it as well. Yeah.
Dave Matthews, huge influence. So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Somehow
man. That's awesome. You channel that.
That's a difficulty that I have sometimes though when making stuff is I kind of put too many elements in, and I'm a believer of less is more sometimes, but also sometimes there just needs to be a moment where you kind of just have so much shit going on at once that.
At least a moment,
right?
And at least parts of the song, right?
Yeah. Because you gotta.
And you gotta, it's your part of the arrangement is the arrangement. Part of the beauty of the song is the arrangement, right? Yeah.
That's but I mean, it's one of the more difficult aspects.
It's probably
making the song.
I mean, just making the actual pure music is probably the easiest part.
Yeah.
For like average, like for basically. For most people making music, for musician, But the other shit is where so much time.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, so much time on the baseline of actually learning the shit, but also after.
Right. The EQs, the sounds.
Doesn't get easier, I don't think, really. If you want to keep going.
Exactly, because you're learning more stuff.
Always. And you're realizing also what's ahead of you.
Right.
And you see people, you're like, ooh, I'm like kind of almost there, but I need to. I need to figure out what I should do next because I know I could be that good.
Right.
Like you see good people and then you're just like, man, maybe I could do something like that.
Exactly. I always feel like you kind of gotta keep changing, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because, I kind of want to keep it the same, but
you have to keep changing, but you have to maintain a recognizable identity.
Exactly. Yeah, you need a brand. You need a brand.
Need a brand. An honest brand that people fuck with a story.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I made my album Second Story. It was about like being up here on the second story, but it was the second tape I put out. So I was like, yes, like I have to have that.
That's perfect.
Like, I realized, and I didn't even do that well of a job like telling a story. Like it was good. I think it was like it wasn't a bad album, but you just know, right? Like once you put a tape out, you're like, I don't even. Like, I know. Like, these songs are done. Like, these songs are, like, out of my...
Yeah.
You
I know
realize,
exactly what you mean, dude.
100%.
As soon
I
as
don't
I
even
put
want
a
to
thing
listen.
out,
I'm like, I don't even want to listen to these fucking things anymore.
Because when you're listening to them, when you're
like,
making
this
them,
sucks.
you listen to it, when I make something, I listen to it 100 times. You know what I mean? Because you're always going back and adding something.
Hundreds of times. Depends how long it takes.
Exactly.
Of times. The tape itself you're listening to hundreds of times, too, to get it in the right format.
Right.
Shit.
And, as soon as I put it out, I don't think I've listened to my project after.
I saved mine, and it takes a little while. Like it takes a month before I can just actually save it and like maybe listen to one or two here and there.
Yeah.
Just to get that idea, like, ooh, that's what I did make. Let's make something different, but also
keep it
the same kind of shit. That's the hardest shit.
That's great.
Because you're not supposed to really just pivot and do some other shit. Like if I just started playing, I love Sublime. If I just started playing Sublime songs and singing and doing Sublime covers, like motherfuckers be like, what? But I don't know. Maybe that's the best thing to do.
Dude, I love Sublime too, but that's the wave, dude.
Yeah.
Rip some Santeria. People love that.
Yeah, big time.
People
I'm just
love
trying to write and do like little remixes and hip hop remixes and shit.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I did that flush of my Instagram. I got rid of like all my old like acoustic guitar posts.
Yeah.
Because it's about that branding thing, you know. I kind of want to advertise more that way.
Yeah, maintain the identity.
Exactly. So I had to flesh out.
I did a lot too. I had like 500 and I'm down to like 200.
Me too. Not that many, but 50% of my posts were on,
That's it. Because they just don't add any value anymore.
They've been seen. No one's going to go that far down, and they're not like visually aesthetic to look at.
Yeah. Now, especially how much the climate has changed to being, if it doesn't grab your attention, then you're fucked. Basically, like if it doesn't grab your eye
immediately, because they'll scroll right past it.
Yep. It's an instant thing that you just like, okay, and then are they gonna stop and look at it, or are they gonna keep going? That's it.
Or you get those people who just tap it and scroll on.
Yeah. Think about how crazy it is for us to be looking at that shit like all day.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
It's crazy.
Think about like all you have to do is like, I don't even think this sounds too hippie, like just step back 20 years and step back past what everybody's doing right now. Just go back a little bit and then you just realize that it's insane. It's insane. It doesn't do anything positive, really. Because how many people are following only positive shit?
I don't know. Not a lot, probably.
Not a lot. I mean, are memes positive? Probably. But there's some negative ones in there.
Yeah.
And
Zach Fox memes or whatever.
Yeah, Zach Fox. Like, he's a wild motherfucker.
Wild.
Yeah. So, but that's also funny at the same time.
It's hysterical.
It's funny. The funny shit is fucking funny, man. But the bad shit is probably the problem.
Yeah. And
it's crazy to just look at it all the time,
not.
though. I think it's just crazy to look at it all the time at this point. Like, that's the conclusion I came to. I don't know if that's the right thing.
I haven't really thought about that.
Yeah.
But
I just, like I said to my friend the other day.
Do a week, no Instagram.
Oh, man, you easily. It's.
How long has it been for you?
Probably like 3 weeks now. And I go on like twice a week for like a minute.
Yeah.
To check DMs. That's it.
Huh.
And I'm trying to transfer all those to text because I don't want to answer DMs anymore. I just want to post. I post from another app usually.
Oh, like a Grambler or whatever?
Yeah, it's like Hootsuite or whatever. Okay. It's free. So I do that. But yeah, it's you just got to fill your time better, I think. I personally feel my time better. But the first week or two I was like, what do I don't know, it was just weird timing.
Right.
Your timing in your day changes, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or you just recognize it a little bit more. But yeah, I was talking to my friend and I was like, think about how crazy it is to just look, like, think about what it is. It is just an app on a phone. It's just an app on a phone, right? Also, it's the best marketing tool, since TV or whatever, or since radio, since whatever was the biggest market, since signs, basically. That's it. But also, it's just an app, and we're just looking at it all the fucking time.
It's true. What about Twitter? You use Twitter?
Yeah, I use Twitter.
Okay.
Maybe like
I think Twitter's worse.
20 minutes, 10 minutes a week.
See, I think Twitter's worse.
Yeah, I think Twitter's worse too. That's the negative. There's the negatives. Are on Twitter 100%. It's just people fighting with each other.
It really is.
It literally is just people, I'm better than you because my opinion is different than your opinion. So I'm better. My opinion's better. You're not going to change my opinion, but I'm going to try to change yours.
Screaming over each other.
People screaming over each other.
Yeah.
That's the thing that doesn't make sense. If you're not going to get your mind changed, if you're not going on Twitter like, I'm ready to change my mind today, like, let's see what people are talking about.
What are you talking for?
Yeah, then you can't expect to change people's minds. Like, it's just how it is. When I post a tweet, it's like, I don't need anybody to even look at it or even acknowledge it. It doesn't matter. It's just kind of there floating by,
Yeah.
I used to care a lot. I used to give a shit and like try to make good tweets, but
yeah, I used to craft them out.
Me too, but I realized it's not. What am I even doing?
Yeah.
Like if you got famous, if you get famous off of tweets, that's awesome. But you got famous off of tweets. So
you think they make money for that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you got ads. I mean, yeah,
that's true.
Marketing. There you go. You retweet people's posts, you get like $30 or something. Doing that all day, hell yeah, you make bread if you need it. Yeah. So there's that, and I mean, there's people who have millions of followers and have millions of dollars because they knew how to market their pages and sell them and buy them again and resell them. So it's a whole world, man. Fuck that shit. I don't know. I'm just out. I'm out of it right now, at least, and I don't know how long. I'm gonna stay kind of detached from it, but probably for a little while, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might cleanse. I might do a cleanse.
I've done it for the.
I might just. I might dump Facebook and Twitter, man.
I just don't have any on my
Never
phone.
on 'em.
And if I need Facebook to post on my music page, I'll do that. If I need Twitter to post for this podcast, I'll do that. But that's it. That's the only time I'm really strictly business, man.
Strictly business.
If I've just realized if my time isn't for like doing things and just getting, or even if it's working out, like that's still better.
Yeah, better alternative. Scrolling on your phone.
And I'm gonna do it anyway. So
yeah. Yeah, kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And I don't even listen to it. If I run, I don't really listen to anything. If I lift weights, I gotta be listening to some shit. But yeah, just and the free thoughts thing is cool. Like just not having any stimulus is I think good too.
Yeah.
Like if you can sit like alone for like 30 minutes in a room and not do anything, like that's positive for sure. I think that's some hippie dip shit, maybe, but I think that's also a good thing to do.
Nah, it's that little head cleansing. Everyone needs it.
Yeah, because we're so in there with the screens. So
yeah. See, I need music on though. I don't like silence. Who's your hard question? I know, but top 5.
What, like everybody?
Sure. Let's go. Who are your influences?
Who are my influences? Okay. Rap. We got like Joey Badass, Action Bronson. Those are the first rappers I listened to straight up, other than Logic and Eminem. Yeah, maybe a little Eminem.
All right.
So Logic is under pressure. Logic is definitely in there.
Yeah.
If you go to my first tape, like you could tell, I listen to Logic. Like it's obvious. So a lot from that. So I got those 3, and then my favorite band's definitely Sublime. Just been that way for like 5 or 6 years, so it's the one I stick to.
Yeah.
And then that'll be like 4. I mean, there's also just so many new ones, and then I'll give you a recent one, a semi-recent one, Anderson .Paak for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
dude, he's crazy.
There's a ton more in there.
I love how he plays the drums and sings. I think that's hard.
It's got to be hard. I can barely play the guitar and sing. I mean, I can't sing, but I can barely play the guitar and try to sing.
Yeah, and I think that gives you a whole different feeling of time when you're playing the drums and singing.
100%.
Because in a way, I know like when I play guitar, there's a way I strum because of the way the vocals are. You know, so I feel like when you're playing the drums, there's a way you're playing the drums, or there's a way you're singing. There's the way his flow is how it is because he's playing the drums.
It's cool. A different flow because it mixes two of them together.
It's rhythmic, not melodic in a way.
Yeah, because you're creating the rhythm and then you're singing the melody.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. He is insane like that. That's why I love him.
His one of my buddies put me onto his last album. What was it? I forget what it was called. I think the last song on there was crazy.
It's always a place.
Yeah. The last song, I forget the name of it, but the last song on there is fire.
I like the ones with BJ, the Chicago kid. He's pretty good. He just did one with Freddie Gibbs. That's actually pretty good.
Really?
Yeah. I fuck with Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah.
He's like a modern influence of mine too.
Really?
Yeah. But how about you, man? What do you what's your ultimates?
For producing or for rapping?
Either way.
There's this new guy, Billy Lemos, who he produces stuff, and he has, features on his tracks and stuff like that. But he'll put together some crazy stuff and
beats too, or
beats definitely, beats and little guitar parts and stuff like that. This new band, Easy Life.
I'll check him out.
Out of London, I believe.
We gotta make sure we put them. I'll try to put shit in the description.
Yeah. These guys, they kind of a Frank Ocean vibe, but almost British rapper, London rapper. But they're pretty cool. What else? Sublime, dude. I think first song I ever learned on guitar was like "Caress Me Down" by Sublime. So they're always gonna have a place in my heart. Dave Matthews, because they're just fun to watch in concert, and they're fun to play, Their drummer got me into playing drums. he'll just rip apart a kit, man. He's crazy. And Dave got me into acoustic guitar, so I think all that stuff kind of.
Those are the ultimates.
That's ultimates for me.
Wow, we got old school people. Old school meaning just not new school.
Nah, man. I mean,
for the most part, other than we have our like haves and haves. I think that's essential. Some of the olds and some of the news. Like some people probably making music are not getting don't really even have a balance because they just been listening to, been focused on the new.
Right.
And I think it's equally as productive to go to the old.
Because I think it sounds just as good.
Yeah, it does.
I think it does. We were talking about this the other day. Just kind of that new trap
wave,
that trap formula, and they'll stick to the hard beats with little dinky bells behind them. I don't want to shit on it because it works for them, and good for them.
Yeah.
But from a musician standpoint, to me it's almost crazy how that works.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it works.
Are you a beat maker or are you a musician? If you're a musician, you have to play multiple instruments, I think, and you kind of know how the other instruments work to an extent.
Yeah.
If you're a beat maker, you can just primarily use loops, which are beats that other people made in 4-bar increments, throw them to the BPM, and then make
a drum beat,
and then find another loop, throw it for a melody,
chorus,
pitch it down, change it, whatever, double it up, and throw some reverb on it, whatever you got to do, right?
Sure.
And then you make a whole song, and then it's a dope beat. So your amalgamation of all these other things that's like the sampling argument too.
Right.
But that's different, I feel like, because I don't know. There's an art to the looping. Like if you loop everything for the beat, literally everything, and don't pull a keyboard up the entire time. I guess there's an art to that. I guess. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what to think of it. If you're a beat maker, that's it. That's completely cool. But I guess there's nobody arguing that they're a musician who doesn't play instruments. So I guess
that's the thing. There's nothing.
Is it better to be a primary in this climate? It's probably better to be just a beat maker than a musician and I make beats.
Yeah, if you're in it for the money, 100%.
Yeah, especially that. Yeah.
You just got to know how to make something that people are gonna bounce to.
And there's a skill for that too. So there's a skill to that.
Yeah. Or you need.
It's long term versus short term too.
Yeah.
I mean, but you could be a beat maker forever, sure. But you are just hopping on to what is right now. If you start being a beat maker right now, like you're gonna just hop onto that sound.
That way.
Basically, there's a good percentage, right?
Yeah.
I feel like most beat makers don't make what we make really. For the most part, Probably not. I mean, or they do, but it's not put out, or it's not, or nobody hears about it, or something.
The majority of kind of what I hear are kind of those FL Studio beats, I like to call them. With those like low hi-hats on the snare off notes and just the booming-eights.
Yep.
But the thing is, I never really hear those being rapped over.
There was a time.
Really?
Well, a couple years ago, probably was the main, or a year or two ago, was the SoundCloud evolution.
That's true.
The wave of SoundCloud. It started 2013, but it didn't get hot till 2018, 2017.
Okay.
With the wave of the SoundCloud rappers, honestly. Right? So there's, because there's a good amount of them.
Pump.
Yeah,
Pump and all them.
Yeah, so that, I guess that's it, though. I think it's faded now, because SoundCloud's been up in the air for like 2 years, 3 years. Even, 5 years probably, because they've just, who knows, I don't know how they're still going. I actually paid for it, so I was, for a while before Spotify really got good. Spotify is the best in my opinion, just on a side note. But, yeah, bro, the SoundCloud is fading, though.
I've heard Spotify was really good.
Yeah, Spotify.
I saw a video on them the other day, like how they work.
Yeah,
it looks pretty good.
They're dope. I think Apple does get more plays from me.
Really?
Yeah. Total Spotify, but no, and most SoundCloud is the most, but it's easiest to get plays on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
You can't post shit on Spotify.
You just tag it with some, beats or tags and
there you go.
Get some views.
That's it.
Exactly.
Light work. And if it's good, if it's SoundCloud good, if the mix is a little off and something's really stands out, then you're good, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be, like, completely nice.
Right. It can't be a polished work. It has to, like,
It has to be high quality, low quality
low
work.
quality. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
High quality, low quality work.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
And not giving fucks about levels.
Let the kicks
I
bump.
need, like, an external compressor.
Yeah.
Like a hardware compressor. It plugged into my computer when I'm on SoundCloud, bro. Because that shit'll
just bumps.
Yeah. What do you got? The Rockets?
Yeah, the Rocket.
You like them, or?
They have a little bit of like false bass in them, but they have like the frequency adjuster, so I just turn the low frequency down. But I like them. They're just I wish they could be a little more articulate.
So they're a little bit of like bass heavy.
Yeah.
Because they have their own kind of EQ going on. I mean,
Yeah.
all speakers do, but theirs are primarily a little more bass heavy, right?
Yeah, they boost the bass a little bit.
Got it.
I don't dislike them at all. Good for what I do, but you know, when it comes to mixing,
Yeah.
I like to put a pair of headphones on, or you know, run it through the just computer
You
speakers.
do both?
Like both.
Yeah. Will you have the headphones on and then go to the speakers and then have the headphones?
I'll basically make the beat with the speakers.
Yep.
And then you know, I'll find like general levels, just make sure nothing's
crazy.
peaking. Yeah. Put like my basic EQs on, do some reverb.
I start low. I start like pretty soft.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And then I'll take out the speakers and put them in my headphones, and I'll work from there. Once headphones have
Like
a decent
kind of once
mix.
the beat is.
Yeah, once it's chopped along, and you know, once I kind of have a general leveling sense of what I want to do, I'll put the headphones on.
Makes sense. You
run-
get the more detail.
Exactly, a little more articulation, and then the bass you could kind of hear it truer because the speakers are a little heavy, and then
It's gonna drown out. It drowns out the detail in the bass.
it does.
basically,
It
makes them all sound the same, kind of, when they're blasted.
It all sounds the same, and it also drowns out a little bit of the lower end of the mids.
Oh, because it kind of catches that too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shit.
And then once you get side chaining with like an 808, then it kind of does it a little bit more.
And it like builds compressor, limiter, like then you're going hard.
Exactly.
And then the shit, what is it even at the end?
It's just a clusterfuck in the mids. And then I guess
you're right.
you just gotta drag a master.
My voice is low, so my voice, if that happens, my voice falls in there. My voice falls in there, and now I'm like, fuck, I'm down here. Like, somebody get me out.
Exactly. So once, you know, then I'll put like a saturator or whatever, you know, just to kind of even it out, a limiter if need be, and an enveloper, and mix headphones until it kind of sounds decent, and then I'll plug it out and then see how it sounds through my computer speakers.
Will you like take a day and then do it the next day, or you usually kind of get the mix done?
Yeah.
Do you master too, or?
I do very roughly.
Yeah, me too.
I
have like a ghetto master.
Do you?
Basically, yeah, it's like a rig master. It just in Logic. It's just like 5 or 6 things to tighten it up and make it sound okay on everything.
Oh, is it like the it's like ballad hip mix and like hip hop mix?
That's one. There's one like that. There's also Pink Noise. Have you ever used that? Take a match EQ. Put Pink Noise in the match, and then the track in the right in the left one, and then put them together, and then even out the EQ, and then it gets, because Pink Noise is just a complete like triangle action.
Okay.
So it's like a complete even balance basically. So if you put them together, and then it just sometimes it doesn't work all the time, but sometimes it just evens it out and makes it, see, then you could go in after and like tweak. So I don't know, there's that, and then there's one I got, free one, that basically has input, output, low, high. That's it.
Just keeping it easy.
Exactly. So I use the match one, and then I use that one, and just kind of, there you go.
Tweak them out.
Yeah, and then obviously it's not a full master, but
I just
it's quick and easy. So
yeah, I just got that Ozone 8.
Oh, I'm getting there.
It's pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff you could do with it. it just I don't know, sometimes it clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Because I don't know, my computer can't handle it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you use a Mac or?
Yeah, it's like
Mac.
the
you got Logic.
old i7, Mac Pro or whatever, MacBook Pro.
I got these ones, dude. These ones fucking, they have bad processors.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a recall on it. But if they said it wasn't a lot of them. But
Oh, I got a recall on mine too, actually, for the
like,
battery.
What
though.
is this, a car?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I just took the recall on my car.
I did too.
Yeah, all the time.
Airbags.
Nobody makes anything.
Airbags.
That's like legit, man.
No.
Yo, why don't y'all just get it right? I thought y'all in the lab every day.
Dude, imagine
I don't
crashing
care,
and
drive
getting
it.
fiberglass in your face.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good.
Dude, that's fucked.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
No,
That's
yeah.
funny. Yeah, Ozone's cool. There's so many. There's so many companies too. It's insane. Yeah. Ozone is one of the better ones. Also, they have this mastering thing that's like an auto master.
That's yeah.
Yeah, that intrigues me, but at the same time, it's like, ooh, I don't know if I'd want to use that really.
The good thing about I have that's like what I'm talking about. You could actually they'll come up with like a preset, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll listen to like the loudest part of your track and come up with a preset. But you could just tweak it at the end, and it gives you a good bass line. I'll say that much.
That's good.
Yeah. But it definitely, after it's gonna take a little bit of knob turning and stuff like
You're
that.
You're gonna have to do something.
Exactly.
Because you can't rely on anything fully, right? Yeah.
Nope.
You really can't.
I mean, it'll give you a good mix, just not how just not how you're gonna want it.
Yeah, because you're gonna be like, oh, this is. Anybody else is gonna be like, oh, that's fine.
It's fine, yeah. And then you're like, oh, now the hi hats are too low here.
Funniest part, the funniest thing is just hearing things, and I'm like to my roommate, I'm like, listen to the S's, and he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, when you listen to songs, listen to the S's. And he's like, and the one day he's like, yo, I was listening to the S's, and he heard like, and that was crazy to me too. It blew my mind.
Like,
and then hearing songs that they didn't de-S that are like famous songs.
Right.
Who
I don't want to
this?
like I don't want to speak poorly on a dead man's name, but like that. Yeah. Look at me now, Tentacion or whatever.
Oh, XX.
Those 808s were just the farts,
Yep. Yeah, but that was cool, I guess. I don't get it though.
No.
There's some people that release music, and they're like, and I'm like, how could you have just been like, yep, let's stop here. And also like shit that gets hella plays too, and I'm like, yeah,
right.
I guess that it doesn't matter, man. It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Say something
catchy.
It's the type. Yeah,
say something catchy.
If you fit the type, that's it. All you got to do, really.
Yep.
You don't even have to do it on purpose, but most of the time it is. I feel like
just fall into it.
Yeah, you can tell those guys too that are like really hard trap, like rappers and producers, and like, but they're dope. They just know. You just know that they do have the background,
right?
And the OG. And then there's some that you're like, nah, this is definitely a fraud. Like, this is just a person that kind of stepped into this, got a little lucky. Somebody kind of on the side helped him out. That was his boy.
Yeah.
There you go. But they made it that way. Anybody can make it any way.
Yeah.
Right? Really?
I guess. Any way they
Literally
want.
any way.
Yeah.
You know Gunna?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he made it like, he was on Gary Vee years ago.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm. And he got straight up marketing advice, and his manager took the Gary Vee marketing advice,
and then he met Young Thug.
Yeah, then he met Young Thug, and there you go. So, but he was marketing hella, because also marketing gets people to know your name.
Yeah.
Even just seeing your name.
Like I think at that point he had one song out, right?
Yeah, I think so. There's this guy Burner. You know Burner?
I don't think I've ever heard of him.
I just know him from his name, and then because of his advertisements and shit, and then I see him on SoundCloud. I'll listen to the song. I'll give it a play because I'm like, oh, here's this guy that I saw.
Right.
Not with everybody, but yeah, there's that too. Back to advertising, but I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. I work for like an advertising company now, or a marketing company.
You see stuff in a new light.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know but eventually I'll try it. I'll like have the people that know what they're doing.
Right.
Really, like I do it a little bit, but I'm not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It might be mandatory. I'll let you know if it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm down to because I'm gonna be selling it to artists if it works for me.
All right.
So definitely, because if it does work, then why wouldn't I be like, yo, fucking use this shit? Like,
It works.
It works. Yeah, you're trying to get plays, like,
Yeah.
so.
Let me know.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Shit. Well, man, I think we're going on, 1 hour on the dot.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Time just flies in the pod, man.
It really does.
It does. It flies in the pod. It just, you're in the zone, you know. I mean, I do wish I had a interface so we could do headphones, because then you would really be in the zone with the headphones.
Yeah.
You would just be like deep in there.
Facts.
Yeah, but that would be cool. We're getting there. This one you can do headphones, but not that one.
Oh, that has like the built-in headphone thing on it?
Yep, big time.
Yeah. My buddy up at school actually used to use that mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend Tyler, who I interned for, he said that was like, he had one of those like early.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, they're like the OGs. They're like the
They
best,
really
one of
are.
the best USB mics.
They really are.
Because it almost makes it sound like you have an interface with this mic. Like it's almost there.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Condenser?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I do voiceovers on it though, and it gets like just Logic helps me,
Mm-hmm.
and I Logic the shit out of it, and then I come out with something that sounds not half bad. But
I love those. That's where I learn half my shit. Just like YouTube tutorials. When I don't know something,
yeah,
I'm like, how do I
so many hours.
make tiny little voice
Hours.
with hours? And I saw one really cool one about like how to make that sway just high pitched whistle, or not whistle, like his high pitched little
yeah,
thing.
like the thing that he does.
Yeah, and mad easy. It was like a pitch shifter, reverb, little like back delay, and
It's what you put together, I
Yeah.
guess, right? Like it's kind of what you.
yeah, it was just like a lot of like I don't want to give away a secret, but
Yeah, they'll find it.
it's
They want
it's
it.
a lot of like pitch flexing and getting
And
rid
like manually, I bet.
exactly
Yeah.
manually pitch flexing.
got auto-tune?
And no,
Yeah, me.
I have like
I got pitch correction.
I got the
Pitch corrector in Logic. That's
I
it.
used to use that, but I have the Melda pitch transformer or something it's
Okay.
called. It's decent. It'll like lock you in a key and with the
yeah.
scale. It's pretty similar to the Logic
Cool.
one.
Is it better than the Logic one, you think, or?
Probably a little bit.
Okay. I need something.
It's like a free. It's like a limited version of like a
actual
full one.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know Wavestone is cool too.
Waves. Yeah.
Melodyne is weird. I don't know about Melodyne really.
And then what's the famous one on Antares or whatever it's called?
I don't even know that one.
I think it's the original.
Really?
That's like the
Before
original.
Auto-Tune?
No, it's like called Antares Auto Tune
Oh.
1
Oh,
or
it's a
1 through
different-
9
okay,
or
I see.
something. Yeah. I think that was like the industry.
Because it's an algorithm. And
Is it?
Yeah, it's an algorithm. Yep. Each version of Auto-Tune and each version of their programs is a different algorithm. So
how
it
they
makes
process your
voices
voice.
sound a little bit different. Like Auto-Tune 5 apparently is like some OG shit that had the best algorithm.
Oh,
people
it's
say.
like
Some
a
people say.
like a T-Pain one.
Yeah, like probably. Yeah, because that probably was straight up T-Pain era.
You know, he was actually like a bomb singer even without auto tune.
Yeah, because he knew what it was gonna sound like.
Yeah. So he would make it sound like that.
Yeah, which is fucking.
He's talented.
Because like some artists like to have it on. Personally, if I'm recording with auto-tune, I don't ever really record with a lot. But if I do, I don't mind having it live. It's
Me
pretty
neither.
nice. Like
Yeah.
it's nice to have it in the ear.
The one thing I've heard though is if you do a lot with it, is you start kind of getting lax on your vocals, and which makes the auto tune sound more present because it has to correct more.
Of your vocals, of your
Yes.
actual vocals.
Yeah.
Huh. That makes sense. It's like vocal fatigue, basically through
Exactly,
auto-tune, but
'cause
it's
you're-
ear fatigue
You're
as
hearing
well.
it fine, but you're not actually singing it fine.
It
you
well,
know?
it warps probably basically your
Exactly.
perception of it, of
Yes.
how it's making of what your actual voice is.
Right, you could not
'Cause
be
you
singing
lose it.
perfectly, but it sounds like you are.
Yeah. Shit.
Uh-huh.
There's all these weird things. Also, do you ever think about stereo right and left for the audience or for the
I do.
yourself?
I like
like
putting
if a
it
drum fill happens?
exactly.
Yeah.
I like putting it on hi hats, very slight left and right,
Sure.
just to give it more immersive. 808s I'll do sometimes. Anything ambient,
And-
I like to do good spreads of them.
Cool.
But I do them all through like plugins and stuff like that. There's like plugin
And
settings.
Do you use automation or?
I do for
like for volume and
yeah, for volume or for
too.
like high low frequency cuts just to give it like a warp.
Yep.
Other than that, no.
Gotcha. I think it can be too much. It can be too much, but also it's hard to get really, really good pans.
Yes.
I think unless you have a really good panning plugin.
Exactly.
Or you do it manually somehow with like a,
Time.
Yeah, exactly.
Time.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Especially for a whole track and like if you have like those EDM, like I don't even know how they make that shit, man.
You know Pogo?
No.
So he makes like he uses movies, like old movies or something like that, and he'll make whole songs out of sounds from
So
that.
it's like ultimate sampling.
Yes, and he's a wizard, dude. He's a wizard, Harry. And he did a studio video the other week about how he works and his process,
like setup.
And it's just so much automation and transitions and swooshes,
Just
crash.
Fucking track, like,
100,
and then
100 tracks, probably 100 groups.
100 groups.
Probably 100 groups. So much time. He's like, I've been working on this one since 2004. I'm like, bro. Yeah.
Comes out 2020. Extremely outdated.
Yeah.
Literally, like, 2004 cents, what, like,
From the
808s from now?
Like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
One of my favorite movies.
Is it?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I love me some Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, he's wicked, man. At my apartment, I have a poster, but I didn't bring it back.
He's wild.
I didn't feel like taking it off. Yeah, he's insane, man.
Yeah. Is he dead now?
Yeah,
I think he is.
He killed himself, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, in his library, next to his son was in the next room. How crazy is that?
Twisted.
Yeah, but his drug routine was off
that
the
newspaper thing that he released.
Oh yeah,
Ridiculous. Like,
how did he even live that long?
Noon to 5, coke, Dunhills, Shavas.
Yep.
Ridiculous. I know. Whenever he went on like talk shows, he would just like just mumble through.
He would just be like,
I was here.
yeah.
Great movie though. Fear and Loathing.
Yeah, it is. It really, apparently a good book too. I've not read it.
I haven't.
One day I'll get around to her.
I want to read his Hell's Angels book.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting story.
I think I've read a little bit of it, maybe in high school. The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test is a good one. If you want to get into like reading some crazy shit. The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test.
What the fuck is that?
So it's about this guy, Ken Kesey, who wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay.
And so he had this band of people, and it was called the Merry Pranksters, and they had a bus in the 60s, and they just day-glowed the whole thing out, and it was just crazy. They had a rooftop deck with, like, speakers all over there were speakers everywhere, and, like, they were just playing music all the time while they were driving, and they drove across the country. So it's about all their experiences that they had.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's written by this other guy. Yeah, it's one of the first books that I read, and I was like, this is, like, a good book.
Was it Blue
Which one?
Electric.
The name of it? Oh, the Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test. Yeah.
Oh, Electric. Okay.
Crazy.
That sounds crazy.
It's my sophomore year English teacher gave it to me.
So it's the same guy who wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Different guy wrote it, but it's about him and his band of people.
Oh.
So it's a guy who's there.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Different
even know One
perspective.
Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was based on a true story.
No, that's not, but it's about... So the guy who wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, he was like the ringleader of all these people. The guy
In real life. Oh, I thought that... Okay.
He went to jail and shit. And they would have these massive concerts. So one of the guys who was there wrote the book, The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test, about that experience.
About that.
And so they had these insane concerts, man. They had these, like, in the woods. He also bought a massive house in the woods, like, in California, in the Redwoods.
Yeah.
And they were just going wild out there, dude. They just had speakers that would blast for miles, and they were just going crazy, bro. It was the 60s, man. It was the 60s, dude. Like, it was crazy, man. Like,
I wish I was born 30 years earlier.
Yeah, it could have been some shit.
Uh-huh.
It's all good.
Cool era.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Getting old, man.
Maybe. by the day, but still young for. I feel like 30's gonna be it's gonna be some shit. But 20's, we'll coast.
I guess.
Let's work and
As soon as 25 hits, then I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. I'm trying to make things happen as soon as possible.
Facts.
Yeah.
I'm not a patient person.
I can be in short term, but not in long term. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to actively pursue shit.
Facts.
But you're doing the same thing, yeah.
Yep.
Actively pursuing shit is the way to go. I think if you work that way, then do it. Cause if I stop doing shit, then I just start going crazy.
Yeah.
I get real crazy.
I know. And there's
like stir crazy almost. Like I need to just.
I live in
move.
I don't know about here, but back home there's really nothing to do. Like around either.
Nothing to do here.
Yeah. So
just look around.
Yeah, I'm the same boat as you, bro. So.
Yep.
I get crazy.
That's why you gotta make shit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody can make shit too. It's not like a thing. Some people just gravitate more towards it, but because they know it a little better off the start. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's like. Do you think there's like creative people, or do you think everybody's at least a little creative?
I think everyone's a little creative. You look at people who say like copy work, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Say maybe lacking creativity, but the fact that they had the balls to fucking copy it, that's probably a little creative. You could call that creative.
Yeah, there's thieves who are creative, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
or do people just have to let themselves go a little bit? Just because that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
that people are so tight in their.
Definitely.
Like, just let it go. What does it make you feel? So what does it make you think about what you're feeling? And
right.
Then,
I think.
And then people are like, nothing,
cares.
bro. Like nothing, dog. Like nothing.
Dog.
It doesn't make me like. What are you talking about? It's like, nah, dude, you gotta get out of there. You gotta just step.
Talk about it, dude.
This is some hippie shit, but it's some music shit. Music people are like inherently hippies, but we're on the other side. It makes sense for us.
Right.
Other people are just posers most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even get down and play the tunes. Like, you can't be a real fucking, armed hippie out here.
Armed hippie. That's great.
Need that.
Uh-huh.
It's my brand.
We need a little bit.
Be a brand.
Is it?
Maybe.
It's a good name.
It's just an idea.
It's a funny name.
I'm starting some kind of podcast thing. That's all I can say for now, but something's happening with that.
Word.
Yeah, big time. Got that in the works, baby. Yeah, we got to get it on the podcast, deep in the pod, so only the OGs will know.
That's true.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, you have to.
Yeah,
if you got any bombs you want to drop, just.
I don't think I do, man. I mean, follow me on Instagram, I guess.
Yeah, where can people find you?
Yeah, at Jello Music on Instagram, at Jello Music on SoundCloud. As of now, that's pretty much it.
He's dope, guys. Check him out.
Yeah.
His music is it's different, which is what we need in this climate.
Yeah.
We need people making different music. That's good. That's straight. You have to have real talent to make.
Appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, anytime. Man.
I appreciate you having me on here.
Oh, anytime, man. Yeah, this is what I do. I love doing this stuff.
Dude. And definitely, for sure, in the future.
Yeah, you're close. So
yeah, we're gonna be in touch.
Let's do it. Because I'm trying to get people back on. I'm trying to get people back on all the time now. So it sounds good to me. I feel like it'll just start having people back on and everything.
Exactly.
And it'll feed itself. Like I said, podcast feeds itself. You could I'll send you clips and everything, man. That's dope. That's awesome. An hour and 14 minutes right there.
It's a good time.
Shit just goes, man.
It does.
It goes. I like the format, because I feel like you can't. It's weird to sit people down and just ask them questions if you're just a regular person. You know, like, why are you interviewing me or some shit?
Exactly.
If you're an artist, then I feel good about it. But I think podcasts is so much more natural.
Yeah, exactly. We're just talking.
Yeah, just having a conversation about just bullshit and seeing what comes up.
And then you could kind of, and I'm a big fan of podcasts in general, and I watched a couple of yours as well.
Thanks, man.
And just kind of the difference between how some people make their, say guests feel uncomfortable by just bombarding them with questions that like the interviewer has preconceived notions of. It may not even be the truth, but
it's an agenda.
It's an agenda, exactly.
Like I don't even know. I never met you in person.
No,
except for right now. This is my favorite podcast to do, honestly. It is. They're my favorite to do because
just meeting and talking.
Yeah, and then because you get to I get to know about you from just sitting down, talking about it. Yeah. Rather than, because everybody has those preconceived notions from what they see online. It's bullshit.
Exactly.
Let's just get some real shit. That's what we did. That's a pod.
Facts.
All right, BopCast. Available on all platforms, even the ones that nobody uses. And make sure to find me. There ain't no fucking us. I don't even have anybody. But find this podcast rather. Yeah, find us, my manager. I got an email for it. On all the podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, all that, YouTube for the live video. And so music is also on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, and everywhere else music is found. BopCasts. That is it. We out. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anytime,
man.
brother. Anytime. Bang.